Hi, welcome to Delve into the Void. This week's episode, we're going to talk about Doctor Who, and specifically, we're going to be talking about the special Day of the Doctor. We've got some people that are big Doctor Who fans right here. We've got Logan, Sean, and Tom here. And I will admit, I have only watched maybe a couple episodes of Doctor Who, and this seems like the best time to see it, and I know I'm getting everybody upset. I know I'm going to like this series. Now, why is this the best time? I mean, the fandom right now is huge. I think it's bigger than ever. Can you explain to me what it is about that?
To me, it's been huge. It more so took off with David Tennant, just because he had that look, running around, London in Converse, People could relate.
The thing about Doctor Who, it's just that it's one of those things that it's across all boards, across all age categories and brackets. Mm-hmm. It's accessible by the whole family. It's just some good TV that doesn't require you to watch every episode ever created to be able to understand that little minutia at the end of this one episode. You can sit down and watch an episode on Saturday afternoon, feel good about it, go outside and mow the grass.
My instructor brought in the first episode with the Weeping Angels and David Tennant, and he showed it for our video episode, our video class. I sat there and watched it and said, wow, this is a really good show. I started doing some research, and then I got to the season premiere where it broadcast with Matt Smith becoming the Doctor. I watched it and said, wow.
It's iconic in so many ways. I mean, you see the TARDIS, the moment you see it, you know what you're looking at. If you don't, then the people around you just look at them with contempt. You should know what that is. Mm-hmm. It's just awesome stuff.
Yeah, I've known about the show for quite some time. I mean, I remember back in the 90s and even the 80s, just seeing that spinning TARDIS. I didn't know it was called that at the time, but I remember I'm a big Mystery Science Theater buff, and they throw those kind of jokes in there. My favorite one, there's this thing spinning on the screen. They're like, who the hell cares? I thought that was fun. We were talking about the doctors a little bit. There's kind of a little bit of argument about which doctor's the best, so I'm interested to know do you guys have favorite doctors, or do you have a couple?
Well, that's a
tough.
loaded question.
Ooh, yeah. I like a controversy.
For me, it was Matt Smith because that's who I watched regularly.
Okay.
You're wrong.
I
just need to know you're wrong.
I'm not saying that it's your favorite. I'm saying my favorite because of.
And I understand that. It is your opinion. Your opinion is just wrong. That's just something you need to be aware of.
Okay.
And I was slow to warm up on Matt Smith. I was really hurt, and I didn't want to, because when I first started watching, I didn't understand this whole regeneration thing.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden to have this new guy step in, I'm like, hey, look, if you'd be so kind as to get off the stage, because I just didn't like it. So I want to go back and see the rest of them. I want to get a better feel, because there's so much to the Doctor. And they all have added little pieces and that flair to judge early. I feel like I would judge wrong.
Mine has got to be Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth Doctor, just because of that raw emotion that he's got. He's got that anger that you watch transition into more sadness with Tennant, and then the journey kept going on with Matt Smith. Mm-hmm. But when Christopher Eccleston, got on there, I mean, the first words that he said on the show was, "Nice to meet you, Rose. Now run." His big tagline was fantastic. Everything, it was fantastic because it was the revival of the show. Mm-hmm. It was fantastic.
Right.
It just, it amazes me. And another one of my favorite lines that he says is, it's on, I think it's the episode Bad Wolf. And the Dalek says, you have no weapons, no defenses, and he goes, doesn't that just scare you to death? And then shuts off the computer. Even from the beginning, it was a show that had that heart, it had that edge that no one had ever seen before. That's why it's still going, is because it's still things that we've never seen before.
It's not just the Doctor, he has the companions that helps him out, and sometimes they have just as big a fan base as the Doctor himself. Yeah. So I'm interested in hearing about your favorite companions.
Yeah, Rose has got to be up to the top there. I mean, the way everything was even built around, and that whole moment in space with her, that that was actually part of my introduction into Doctor Who right around that time frame, where I finally kind of said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and become a Whovian.
Amy Pond. It's because
She's hot.
Yes.
Helps, right?
just because that was who I have had this journey with, is Amy Pond. And when she was getting married and all this back and forth in River Song, those were who
Oh,
I...
nice. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. The companions that I love are, like I said, Jack. He had that unique quirkiness. In the Doctor Who universe, you have multiple reprieves. Nobody's ever finished.
Right.
But as for the female companions, Martha Jones. Martha Jones.
I mean, anytime I talk to people that are into any kind of sci-fi or fantasy, they usually are into Doctor Who. So I actually know pretty much everything you're talking about. So I guess that brings up another question for me. If I want to start, which I'm planning on starting to watch this, where should I start?
Anything
Time
that
is a
happened
big
after
ball
89.
of- Yeah.
Anytime after 89.
I would start with the new rebirth of the series.
Okay.
Because we're up to a point now, you can almost jump on now, and the Day of the Doctor was the 50th anniversary show that is going to lead into the special that's airing tonight, which is the Time of the Doctor on Christmas. And that is when Matt Smith regenerates into the new Doctor.
Okay.
And that would be a very good jumping on point.
You should get a new companion, right? Have they announced that yet?
Not that I've heard, but I've been kind of
Yeah.
muffing my ears,
Muffle.
I want to
Yeah.
ruin the surprise.
I'm sure
Yeah.
someone is right now on
Yeah.
Facebook about to
Oh,
go on
yeah.
my page to
Yep.
ruin it.
Right. Yep. That's how it goes.
Yeah, Doctor Who can do something that's very unique because it's like, with each new Doctor, it's like a new series. It's still the series that you love, but it's like brand new, and I think that's interesting because I don't know any other series that can do that.
And even the concept, and you got me thinking as you were saying that, even the concept of that regeneration there, no other show, save Spartacus of late, has been able to take the lead character from the show and change them up, just swap them out, and
Yeah.
everyone goes, well, okay, I accept that.
Right. Yeah.
No, that first episode when he was there with Amy Pond and he was eating all the stuff that I was like custard and was it fish sticks and stuff that he
sticks.
liked before. He didn't like. He had to find these foods, and she says, "What are you doing?" And I believe he said, "New body, new rules."
I think this is the perfect opportunity to switch over and check out the show then.
Yes, we went to, as everyone's aware of Doctor Who fans, they had a simulcast of the 50th anniversary Day of the Doctor. And on the following Monday, they had a 3D one night only presentation in theaters. And it was brought on by Fathom Events and BBC America. And Jeff and myself were going to the 7 o'clock show. I looked online, the tickets were sold out. 2 showings, the tickets were sold out. Jeff said, well, let me go down and get us some tickets. He called me up, said, hey, do you want to do some footage? I said, sure. They had people already dressing up. So we went down there to the next showing and we interviewed people coming into the movie theater and coming out of the movie theater on what they thought about Doctor Who and about this special. Right. So we've got a whole range from young to older talking about Doctor Who. And what we're going into in just a second is my experience there at West Columbia 7. Thank you for having us. Just kind of get an idea of really the impact that Doctor Who has had on our culture.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and cut away to that clip then.
Hi, I'm Tom Morris with Delve into the Void, and tonight is the one-night showing of Doctor Who, the Day of the Doctor, in 3D. Much better. We're going to interview fellow Whovians about what they like about the Doctor, who's their favorite companion, and what they thought about the movie in general. So sit back, relax, as we delve into the void with Doctor Who.
Ryer.
Jeremy Young. My name's Ian. I've been a Doctor Who fan since, back in the early 80s.
Max Jones, 2 or 3 years.
My name is Adam. I'd say probably right around 5 years.
My name is Eric. About a year and a half.
My name is Jessica. The last 2 years.
Jeremy Holder. Two and a half years or so, maybe 3.
My name is Zachary Taylor.
My name is Max Cruz. Probably since I was 12 and I'm 15 now, so 3 years.
Patrick. I've been a fan since around summer.
My favorite doctor is...
It's hard to choose.
Well, I have two favorites I have to like equally.
I have two.
My favorite doctor is the second doctor, Patrick Troughton.
I've always liked big scarves, and I've always wanted a Tom Baker Doctor Who scarf growing up.
The fourth Doctor is also really cool.
Tom Baker.
Although I'm one of the few people that actually likes the costume for the sixth doctor.
9. Christopher Eccleston.
When the rebirth came along with Chris Eccleston, it was very good to watch. So he really kind of remade the Doctor for us all.
One with a blue shirt.
David Tennant.
David Tennant.
David Tennant.
I really like David Tennant. He's my favorite.
David Tennant probably stands out right now.
Matt Smith is my favorite Doctor.
The one that I'm wearing right now.
It's a tie. I can't really choose between the two of them.
I've really liked all the Doctors.
Do I have to choose? I mean, do I have to? Because I can't.
That's a tough question to answer.
It's hard to say.
Jamie from the second doctor.
Sarah Jane Smith. You can't get better than Sarah Jane.
Rose sticks out.
Rose.
Obviously, she was a great character.
Definitely has to be Rose Tyler.
Donna and Amy are definitely up there.
Amy Pond is a big favorite of mine as well.
My favorite companion is Donna Noble.
The development of Donna Noble all the way up to where she became the Dr. Donna, and then they threw her back into her old Donna Noble ways. That was real enjoyable to watch. Sad, but enjoyable all the same. And Captain Jack, to have so much bravado, love to be Captain Jack.
I would say my top companions would be almost everybody that hangs around with the 10th Doctor. But if I had to say one Tyler, I'd say probably Rose Tyler.
K9.
Clara, she's kind of just goofy and acts like a 5-year-old, which is how I live my life.
That's a difficult one.
Dialects is awesome.
The Dalek. I'm sounding classic, but the Dalek's always been cool.
The Daleks, because they're classic. They're wonderful. My daughter loves them.
The Cybermen.
And Cybermen, obviously, just because, especially the episode of Cybermen when they go to the alternate universe and everybody's got an earpiece. I will not get a Bluetooth just because of that.
Even though he's not a villain anymore, Strax. Because he's part of like a villainous group.
The Master.
Master is always awesome.
I really like the Master. The Master is really cool.
The Master.
The Master. Because I love the way he comes up with his plans, how sneaky he is.
He's not really a villain. He doesn't want to be a villain. He's just lived a long time and became like that. And also, he really is the Doctor's arch nemesis.
Weeping Angels.
Weeping Angels, they've done such a great job at making you stare at everything that's could possibly be a Weeping Angel that that's just wonderful to have that little kind of itchy scariness in the back of your neck when you walk away from a statue.
The Weeping Angels, because there's something about not being able to blink that is scary.
I'm going with the Weeping Angels. They're just the way that they feed off the time energy and is just evil. It's just mean. They're just mean, real mean.
One of those spacemen that turned to a skull.
Vashta Narada, because something always hiding in the dark that can get you. And I will never hear the phrase, "Hey, who turned out the lights?" the same again.
That's another tough question. I've enjoyed the series for so long, it's really hard to choose one.
The War Games from the second Doctor's final story.
From the old series, The Pyramid of Mars, just love that serial. That's excellent. And again, Tom Baker and Sarah Jane, Liz Sladen. It's just wonderful to see them on screen together anytime.
Introduction of the Weeping Angels during David Tennant's time was a very good episode. I was actually quite scared, and I still stare at statues.
Rose Tyler send-off episode has got to be my favorite episode, where she has to be sent away.
School Days from the new series, no doubt. Seeing David and Sarah Jane on screen together.
The episode where David Tennant and Rose Tyler, go back to like the 50s in England.
And even though it's the one that makes me cry the most, it's Angels in Manhattan.
Can't say I do because I love just too many of them. I mean, really, if I was to boil it one down though, In the Name of the Doctor, I would say the last season finale just really had me going.
The one I just saw, Day of the Doctor.
I love them all. It's hard to pick. It's like choosing a child.
I really want to see like what John Hurt's Doctor is all about. I want to see like his personality, how he fits in everything.
That Billie Piper didn't play Rose. I was expecting her to be back as companion Rose, not as I guess a figment of imagination, and that kind of surprised me.
The way that they kind of threw Rose Tyler in there, but she wasn't Rose Tyler, was definitely a big kind of, messes with your head quite a bit.
The story itself was great. The interaction between Matt and David is absolutely everything I hoped it would be.
The story itself, it was really interesting having the two different storylines work together where they could have the Doctor kind of discover how he could go back and almost solve a problem, or at least try to solve that hurt of the Time War.
They changed a fixed point in time. He changed his own history. That was amazing.
The ending when all the doctors just come together to save the day. That was
The way the Doctors saved the day at the end.
All the doctors coming back and getting to see them all work together and all the wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
Peter Capaldi making a cameo.
Yeah, it would have been great if Elizabeth Sladen could have been in it. Really, maybe if they had been able to work in her son from the Sarah Jane Adventures, Luke, just for a cameo, that would have been neat. But yeah, Sarah Jane's who I miss the most.
Probably the fact that the Ninth Doctor wasn't in it.
I wanted to see Christopher Eccleston. And when John Hurt regenerated, I was upset that they did not show Eccleston. They cut away.
I would have liked to have seen Christopher Eccleston and maybe Donna Noble to make it an appearance or two. That would have been nice. But other than that, I thought it was fantastic. It was great.
The whole thing was just fantastic.
Just the whole episode was enjoyable in itself.
Getting David to say, I don't want to go in a way that didn't leave me teary-eyed is something that was wonderful.
Tom Baker, mind was blown.
The curator, Tom Baker, I will have to say that when I saw him come on screen, that's got to be one of the greatest feelings I've had in watching a Doctor Who episode. It was absolutely fantastic.
I've actually seen the 50th 3 times already on TV, so I know what's going to happen. It was such a big event for me. I really wanted to see it in the theater just to fully comprehend what was going to happen.
It's just my favorite show, and woo, shout out to Nico.
It is truly the most addicting thing in my life. It's fantastic.
It's kind of nice to just sit there and really just kind of suspend everything and let the writers take you on the journey.
Check it out, it's really cool.
I made most of this. Most of it is from a thrift shop. This is actually something I wore at a wedding. This is from a thrift shop. This is from a thrift shop. The hat is from old Halloween costume. I just picked up the scarf today at the mall.
I hope that it has 50 more years and just continues on to be as fantastic as it has been in the past. And Allons-y, wanted to continue because I don't want it to go.
I'll keep enjoying Doctor Who for as long as they have it.
Here's to another 50 years.
Do you have any other Doctor Who collectibles? You got the little figures, the little Legos?
Oh, yeah.
The mini maze?
Yeah.
How many TARDISes do you have?
I think 3.
How many sonic screwdrivers do you have?
I still think 4. Or I think 4.
Richard. Yes. Oh yeah, you got the soundbite too.
We're going to go ahead and talk about the special now, so if you'd like to start, Logan.
Yeah, what wasn't to like about that special? When John Hurt came in and he goes, "Am I having a midlife crisis here or what?" You know, and if you think Time Lord time, he's what 913, something like that, and so it's been from John Hurt's time to where Matt Smith is now. That's 400 years progression. You know, so the joke, "Am I having a midlife crisis?" kind of tells you the longevity of the character. My big complaint, though, was I wish that they would have shown more Time War than what they did. Well, we get to see the finale of the Time War.
The Doctor, what has he carried around this heavy, bag of bricks for so long? Was of the decision that they made during the Time War.
Yeah, and it was written amazingly.
And they made it interesting without having to do a humongous dodge on changing something that was supposed to be unchangeable. It shifted it just enough to go, all right, cool. I can get behind it. And gave a reason for everyone to be there.
I felt it was written better than some of the summer blockbusters that I've seen.
Oh,
yes.
And I went to see it in the movie theater, and my comment to Jeff was, these 3D effects that they used, I felt was better than some of the summer blockbusters. I said that out loud, and someone turned around and she said, "Thank you, you're absolutely right."
I've heard that too, that the 3D that they had was just drop dead gorgeous. So
then they knew where to use it, which is they work on a budget and they make the most of it, and they go above and beyond. Everything you saw there just fit perfectly.
There were so many different little layers. I think it's something that you could go back and watch again and again and again and get something new every time, because there's just so much going on there. Maybe it's because the Doctor talks 4,000 miles a minute, or because they just were, it was just a true gift to fans and said, "Hey, look, you guys have been wanting this, I'm going to cram all of it down your throat."
Right.
And we went, "Thank you."
There was a whole bunch of tie-ins.
Yes.
That, if you got them, that was great. If you didn't get them, you will get them soon. I mean, like I said, perfect.
The 50th anniversary by far was one of the more, it gave us what we were looking for as far as answers to that Time War. Enough that we can go, all right, I understand now why there was that dark period. I understand why whenever anyone talks about it, he was freaking out. And now moving forward, does that mean there's going to be that dark period's kind of gone now for him? Does that mean we've got a level of joy there because he knows the answer, that he's addressed it in some way and can be satisfied there? I mean, it leaves so many things moving forward. Just what's the next Doctor going to be like?
You never know how the Doctor's going to feel.
Right. I don't think the Doctor knows how he's going to feel.
Exactly.
Changes moment to moment.
Right, as it should.
Right.
He is definitely an in the moment character. He's almost bipolar in some senses. It all depends on which Doctor. I mean, if you're watching Eccleston, he can go from haha to in one episode. And that's what's great. I mean, some episodes are that happy, upbeat. The sun shines even though it's dark. I mean, there's light passing through this tunnel. And that's what's great, because if they would have just had, Christopher's time just being this dark, kind of resentful, regretting person, the show probably would have suffered.
Yeah.
But they had him do some really fun stuff. They've had him meet some really cool characters in that time, and it took away. And Rose was one of the big helps, making him forget, the Time War. I mean, it was one of his big things to show him why it was necessary.
So they used Rose in such a humongous way in this 50th anniversary gig. What did she do again?
What'd she do again? She was basically the box's guide, because it picked out a form that best suited him. I mean, the box didn't get that it was pulling from 9 and 10s. The box just was like, this is somebody who's very important to him, which, I mean, trust me, you'll stumble on it. And when you do, you'll come back to us and you'll be like, I get it. And I mean, I love it when John Hurt's War Doctor says, "Oh, thank you, Bad Wolf Girl." And Tennant goes, "What?" And he just was like, basically, kind of like I'm sorry, what? Can you repeat that for me? It's the same person. It's the same Doctor. It's the same hearts. you know, just different face, different rules, like you said, you know. And that's what makes them unique.
Definitely worth my time.
Yeah,
I give it a thumbs up.
I was glad to go see it in the theater. We brought you on here for a specific reason. Not only Doctor Who, but you're going to be doing some card games in the future?
Well, I've actually just kind of hammered out the thought last night. The show's going to be about cards, gaming in general. You know, get some D&D, get some Vampire the Requiem in there. Maybe talk to some of our dungeon crawlers around, you know. I mean, you know, Dungeon Crawlers Unite. You know, we might have like a ding bell for when we level up, you know, I don't know. Everybody likes to ding.
True enough.
You know.
What's the name of the show again?
I'd tap that.
And what's the relevance in, I'm not familiar with card playing.
Okay. In Magic, whenever you want to tap or activate your card's ability, for the most part, you have to tap that card, which means you just turn it.
Okay.
So with it, you know, being I'd tap that, you know, I'm making it go. I'm making it work.
Cool.
It's killing you.
When do you expect that to be on?
I don't know. Probably soon. I'm talking to people right now, trying to work out the logistics of everything, but it's going to be great. So I hope that I hope to see you guys on it.
I was surprised we got Lacey out today. Yeah. Lacey, what have you been doing in your spare time?
Playing with my 3DS. I'm surprised you got me to come down here too, because I've been staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning playing my new Legend of Zelda game. So
wait a second. She's playing Legend of Zelda, not watching Doctor Who. You can split that time. They're both awesome franchises.
I don't know. When it comes to my video games, I concentrate on that. I have Doctor Who in the background. I'd be missing everything. So.
She has Super Mario 3D World going on, Pokemon XY, Legend of Zelda, and a Castlevania game. She has to juggle to mid-January. I was very
Resident
fortunate.
Evil game.
Yep.
Oh, well, you know.
I'm playing all those at once. I rotate.
Those are good, though.
Yeah.
Good choices, good choices.
Don't roll your eyes at me. What's that all about?
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm on your
Don't
side.
judge me.
I usually reserve my judgments and ill thoughts towards him, but
okay,
I think I can, for Christmas, I might have to get you a little bit, just a little bit of it, and slide it all with you.
All right.
It's the least I could do. And I've got a PS4.
Oh, jealous.
Yep.
Well, we'll definitely be back first of the year, probably towards the end, and having a PS4, Wii U, 3DS, and the Xbox One, kind of touching over what we've gone on through the whole year, where we did the Nintendo experience with yourself and your sister, who cannot be here today because she's sick.
She got the flu.
Oh.
Hey, Chelsea. Sean will probably go over the PS4.
He's like, hi.
Yeah, Sean. With the PS4, I understand that you're still trying to get the Xbox One. Or maybe not. Logan, we'll see you again soon.
Hopefully so.
Moving on.
Yeah. Lacey's always great to have you down.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks for having me over. Oh, dear.
Oh, here we go. Before I sign off, everyone, thank you for watching Delve Into the Void, and we'll see you again next year with new episodes.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
You know which doctor that is?
No, I forgot.
Matt Smith, number 12. He's the one we're going to see today in the movie.
I knew that.
Oh.
Access Vision. Your voice, your community.